What up, my guys? It's the boy Richie. We're finally back at it with another 6v6 Pokemon battle for the channel against the homie Joey of Discord. Honestly, if you're watching this, you most likely already know who Joey is. He's a very cool guy. Very tough Pokemon battler that I've been battling, in the more recent months. Like, sometimes I'm able to get a good battle out of him. Sometimes he's 6-0ing me, so this is actually a very good battle. So I did want to go ahead and get this one uploaded. It actually took place like earlier this month, I believe. And, it's been a while, but finally getting a chance to get it uploaded, so here we are. We are having a UU battle, as you guys can tell from the Pokemon we're using. And I just brought kind of 6 Pokemon I wanted to use. I just trained up the Talonflame. Haven't been seeing too much of those Pokemon since, X and Y. Because, of course, of the Gale Wings nerf. But wanted to go ahead and throw that thing on the team, see what he could do. I also brought a Volcanion. I just recently watched like half of the Volcanion movie. I cut it off like halfway because it wasn't as interesting as some of the other ones, but I just threw him on the team because he's something different to look at. The other 4 Pokemon on my team are just there because I don't know. And looking at my opponent Joey's team, he actually has a pretty cool team. Like half the Pokemon aren't even UU, but he brought them anyway. Like he has the Grass Rotom, which is a really cool Pokemon. He has the Mega Manetric. He has Haxorus, which is definitely like a very cool Pokemon, one of my faves. He has an Omastar. He has the Arcanine, and he has a Smeargle on his team as well, which is the Pokemon I fully expect this Pokemon Joey to start out with, because most people start out with those things. They have Focus Sash on them, and then they just get all the hazards in the world up. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I choose out my Mamoswine because honestly, I was like, maybe first turn, I can get an Icicle Crash, and I can get like a flinch off on this Smeargle, and then I can like just kill him. But I realized, this Pokemon is most likely going to try to Spore me, and that's probably not a good idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap out into my Amoonguss. So unfortunately, I was like, maybe I'm probably not going to be able to kill this thing. So he is going to be able to get like Sticky Webs or Stealth Rocks up. As you guys can see, it's Stealth Rocks. And maybe I can, hit this thing up with something really cool. But I hit him with the Sludge Bomb, get a critical hit. It's not enough to do anything. Would have been extra boss if I could have got the crit and the poison, but I can't, hope for hacks like that. So he is able to go ahead and get these Sticky Webs out right here, as I just went ahead and went for the Spore, because I was like, you know what, I can put this thing to sleep. I can swap out into my Scizor, and then I can get like a really nice defog off, and then I won't even have to worry about this Pokemon at all anymore. But my opponent actually kind of just reads me. I told you guys he's a very tough opponent, and he just kind of saw my moves from like a mile away. I swap out into my Rock Paper as he swaps out into his Mega Manetric, and honestly, I don't have anything for this Pokemon. I mean, I could hit him with the U-turn, but I honestly wouldn't get the chance, because when you see these Pokemon 9 times out of 10, I mean, they have a fire move. Like I haven't seen a Mega Manetric. I haven't seen a Manetric without like Flamethrower or Overheat on it. So I'm just gonna actually swap out into my Volcanion right here. I know he probably was not going to go ahead and go for the electric move, off top. Even if he did want to go for it, I am Assault Vest, so I probably could have tanked at least 2 of them, but he is going to go ahead and Mega Evolve right here and get a nice little Intimidate drop that's not going to matter too much on the Volcanion. But yeah, I was hoping he'd just kind of go for the fire move, because I do quad resist that, and he actually does end up going for the Flamethrower right here, which is going to take off absolutely nothing with my Assault Vest on. And I expected him to go for possibly the Volt Switch right here on me, and that's the main reason I swapped back out into my Mamoswine. So this isn't actually good, because I'm taking all this Stealth Rock damage and stuff and Sticky Webs, and I really want to get that defog up, because it's absolutely frustrating when you have to play around like all these hazards and stuff. So I am able to get that read right as he tried to go for the Volt Switch, and if he wanted to go for like the Flamethrower or something on me, that would have been okay with me, because I do rock that thick fat ability. But he instead chooses to sack off his Smeargle, which is completely understandable, because he kind of did what he needed to do. He came out here, he got the Sticky Webs up, he got the Stealth Rocks up. Honestly, if he's doing anything more than that, then his job is already done. But my opponent swaps out into the Grass Buddy, and I want to preserve my Mamoswine's life, because Mamoswine is just a good Pokemon to have. I've got like a lot of late game sweeps with that Pokemon, so I just decided to swap out into my Scizor, expecting him to go for the the leaf storm, grass tornado. I can't think of, it's leaf tornado. That's the move I'm thinking about. But my opponent just makes a super read on me and just decides to go ahead and go for the volt switch, not letting me get my defog off. So he's playing just excellent around me, not letting me, trying to keep his hazards up, trying to keep my guy slow, getting hurt by the stealth rock damage. And I'm just really not trying to get hit by any flamethrowers from this Mega Magnetric. So I am just going to go ahead and swap out. Scizor is just looking too important right now. If he wanted to go for the flamethrower, that's okay with me. And instead, my opponent actually goes for the Volt Switch right here. So luckily for me, I was able to get another good read. And I was like, you know what, this Pokemon is most likely going to swap back out into like the Grass Rotom, and that's actually not what happens. I decided to go ahead and get my Stealth Rocks up right here. It was kind of beating myself up because I was like, man, I could have went for an Earthquake right here. Wouldn't have even had to worry about any more, Mega Magnetrics. But now I'm looking at I'm not at enough HP to swap back out here into another Flamethrower. So I did kind of have to let my Mamoswine die right here, which I always kind of get scared when I see my Mamoswine die early in the battle. So that's really unfortunate. I was able to get my Stealth Rocks up, so at least if we're both going to be swapping out, we'll both be taking some Stealth Rock damage. So if he wants to defog those out with his Grass Rotom, that's cool because he'll remove all these hazards on my side as well. But I just decided to swap out into my Sylveon because this Pokemon is just too much of a tank. One of my more favorite Pokemon that I've been using in the UU tier, just because this Pokemon is so bulky. Like, honestly, I'm such a defensive player with my Pokemon, and it's not respectable because, those defensive players kind of make the game last like 50 minutes and stuff. But it's kind of my playstyle. I try not to play like that because, nobody likes those players. But anyway, back into the battle. My opponent swaps out into this Arcanine right here, and, it takes a Moonblast from me pretty good. And I just went ahead and went for the Protect right here to scout out if he was going to go ahead and try to hit me with like a Toxic, if he wanted to hit me with a Flare Blitz, so I could kind of, maneuver around this the best way I can. And he actually decides to try to hit me with the Flare Blitz just right off the back, showing me that he most likely doesn't have the Toxic. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. I've seen my Sylveon tank some pretty physical moves in the past that I didn't think he would be able to tank, so I think a Flare Blitz to him would be okay. Plus I could go for like the Wish, and I'd just be absolutely okay with that. But he actually makes the play of swapping back out into his Mega Magnetric. I'm not sure what my opponent was expecting me to go back into, maybe the Volcanion, but it's not the case. I just decided to stay in here with Sylveon, get a Wish up, just in case he wanted to go for the Flare Blitz again, because I was like, I can protect, I can keep getting Wish recovery, and he'll keep taking the recoil damage. But his Mega Magnetric's out here hitting me with electric moves and stuff. He tanks a Moonblast, which is really unfortunate. I wish he would have died right there because, my Sylveon was just kind of in here. After that leftovers recovery, I pretty much am back at like full HP, but he actually lives on like a sliver of health, and he's able to hit me with another Thunderbolt. But I want my Sylveon to be in here with as much HP as I possibly can have, so whenever the next Pokemon comes in, I won't have to worry too much about it, because I haven't really seen this Pokemon ever get like one-shotted before. So he is actually going to go ahead and hit me with another Thunderbolt. I guess he's ready to kind of sack off his Mega Magnetric, which that Pokemon has, he's done what he's needed to do. He's scared my Scizor out enough times to where I haven't been able to get any defogs up. So I am happy that I was able to go ahead and knock out that Mega Magnetric. That Pokemon is just always going to be an issue for me. Like, every Pokemon I see, every UU battle where I see that Pokemon, it's always a problem. I always get scared. And he actually sends out this Haxorus. I was expecting, a different Pokemon, but since he, sent out this Pokemon, I expected him to have the Iron Tail, and, I just yelled at my Sylveon, and I was like, dodge it, and I was able to dodge it. But honestly, that was really unfortunate for my opponent. I think I probably would have been able to tank one, maybe not, but he did miss, and I was able to one-shot him with the Moonblast. So my Sylveon got really lucky right there. He's just out here putting in work, and my opponent sends out his Omastar right here, and I was like, alright, this thing is most likely going to show Smash Up, and I won't know how to deal with it too much when it does. So I did just kind of decide to stay in here and hit this thing with the Moonblast, hoping that one, maybe it would be a 2-hit KO, or two, maybe it would drop him to enough HP to where I'd be able to kill him with a Bullet Punch if my Sylveon does end up dropping right here to like a Hydro Pump. So I did hit him with the Moonblast, and after he takes his Stealth Rock damage, it's looking like he's at like, you know, maybe about like 30% of health or whatnot. I did think I was at enough HP. Sorry, I did think he was at enough HP to where a bullet punch might have been able to kill him. And I just went for the protect right here to scout out if he was going to go ahead and go for like the scald or the hydro pump right here. He does end up having the scald. And this is where I kind of played kind of bad because I could have just stayed in. I know my Sylveon would have been able to tank a scald from him, but I kind of got greedy right here. I sent out my Volcanion thinking this thing wouldn't have too much you know, that he could do to my Volcanion with the assault vest on him. If he, I was trying to get some HP recovery as well, but he actually makes a good read. He actually just decides to hit me with the hidden powers. I don't know what hidden power that is. It's doing neutral damage to me though, so my Volcanion assault vest was able to take 2 of those because I am assault vest, and he is actually just gonna go ahead and drop right there. And I send out my tripped out because I was like, you know, if he wants to hit me with the scald or whatever that hidden power is, that, you know, I might be able to take one of those and hit this thing over with a Giga Drain, killing it. And I don't know why I didn't think this Omastar would have Ice Beam on it for coverage. Like, I really kind of goofed up right there, and I'm just kind of adding to this Omastar's body count right here. But I was like, you know what? It's time. I got to kill this thing. It's, you know, I can't get a defog up, and it's just that, you know, my last Pokemon is our Sylveon, which doesn't really rely on speed, and Talonflame, which is going to take stuff from that Stealth Rocks, but I mean, it's kind of whatever at this point. And my opponent was actually able to survive on, you know, a little bit of HP again with his Omastar. So now this is just a big problem. This Pokemon just kind of ended up killing half of my team off, you know, a mistake by me. So I played really, really horrible around that Omastar, but I extended out my Sylveon because I was like, all right, you've done enough damage. You gotta go down now. So he's gonna go ahead and hit me with the scald right here. And as I said before, I knew I was able to go ahead and tank at least one of those, and I am just gonna go ahead and fire off with the Moonblast right here, and just, you know, I'm just gonna knock out this Pokemon. He's done absolutely too much to my team, so that was a little bit of frustrating. But you know, now that rain is over, and he's gonna go ahead and shoot back out his evil puppy right here. It's gonna take some nice Stealth Rock damage, and I was really kind of hoping that you know, after a Flare Blitz or something, it's not looking like I'm at enough HP to take a Flare Blitz, but I was like, if he does do it, hopefully, you know, he'll take himself out with the recoil damage. I wasn't sure what item this Pokemon was holding at this point. I see a lot of people rocking like the Rocky helmet on their Arcanine, but I guess I didn't really know. I was like, hopefully after this Protect and Leftovers recovery, I'll be able to maybe tank a Flare Blitz. Like, it's not really likely. But as you guys can see, he absolutely just kind of goes down right here. So my Sylveon is just going to drop, and this recoil was not enough to take out this Arcanine. So I was kind of fully expecting my opponent to just hit me with an extreme speed, because after I take that Stealth Rock damage, I know Talonflame isn't really like the most defensive Pokemon or whatever. So I thought he was just going to hit me with the extreme speed. But it's not the case, and I just kind of hit the Z move just because, you know, I didn't think I'd honestly get another move in. But my opponent actually told me after this battle that he was actually rocking the choice band on his Arcanine, so that's the main reason why he was why he didn't go for the extreme speed right here. He couldn't have swapped him back out because I still have the Stealth Rocks up, so I was really happy that I was able to at least bring this battle down to a 1-0, because I was like, this Pokemon is definitely Choice Scarfed. Every Grass Rotom I've seen before, it was like Choice Scarfed, and I got really, really excited right here because I was like, yo, I'm faster than this thing. He's not Choice Scarfed. And I hit him with a Flare Blitz, and for the 3rd time in this battle, my opponent lives on like red HP, and he's able to fire back with a Volt Switch, ending my Talonflame and this battle. So it was a very, very close battle. My boy Joey definitely put in work with his Pokemon. Like, very, very cool team. Definitely got to give this man props on his team and his battling skills. It's always really, really fun. Definitely, like I said, one of the tougher opponents that I battled in the more recent months, and I actually have some more battles from him that I want to go ahead and get uploaded at some point. But I did want to go ahead and get this one up. He has a YouTube of his own, and I'm going to link that in the description. You guys should definitely check him out. One of the main things that I love about his channel is he's very, very consistent. I feel like he gets a battle up like every day, and you know, when I watch all these other YouTubers and stuff, I appreciate that stuff so much. And his battle, you know, his battles are very, very good. So you guys should go ahead and check that out as well. And if you're still watching this at this point, thank you. Definitely humbled by it. If you're not subscribed already, you should go ahead and do that. If you like the video, go ahead and leave that like so I can get all giddy and whatnot. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video though. Peace out.